Ayan, start na siya.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are Group 10, consisting of Therese Hernandez, Marian Pexon, and Kate Sabater. Today, we will be presenting our paper titled ABS-CBN, Still in the Service of the Filipino, a case analysis on films and TV shows during the pandemic. Our presentation is structured as follows. First, we will discuss the scope of the case analysis. Next is the target audience, followed by the data interpretation. And lastly, we will present the findings and proposed solutions of the group. The scope is focused on two aspects. First is major financial loss in ABS-CBN due to quarantine restrictions that caused the suspension of their films and live TV production shows. The second is mass job loss. In the same year that ABS-CBN experienced financial loss due to quarantine restrictions, the station was shut down, which led to mass job layoffs. Moreover, the analysis is limited to the experiences of ABS-CBN, as this was the entertainment station identified by the group to have suffered the most over the pandemic.
Moving on to the target audience, film production companies, specifically its owners and shareholders, are considered to be the primary audience of this business case analysis because they are directly affected by the issue and their decision making can be greatly influenced by the report. The employees are the secondary audience because they're the ones affected by the decisions of the primary audience. And lastly, the immediate audiences are the film production analysts because they have the comprehensive knowledge to scrutinize the report and evaluate whether the proposed solutions are feasible. Also, with their proficiency in film production, they can assist companies such as ABS-CBN to recover from loss and revive the film industry.
We gathered secondary data to aid us in identifying the specific issue that needs to be addressed, as well as to aid us in devising possible solutions for the said issue. For the first analysis, we have ABS-CBN's financial performance from year 2018 to 2021. As seen in the figure, the financial performance of ABS-CBN significantly decreased in year 2020. The network sales revenue dropped from approximately 32 million in 2019 to 17 million in 2020. In the same year, ABS-CBN also incurred over 7 million pesos of loss, resulting in a net profit margin of almost negative 43%. In 2021, the net sales revenue of ABS-CBN decreased again by almost 12 million pesos, which is about 4 million pesos less than the recorded revenue in the previous year. Additionally, the total assets of ABS-CBN has always been in a constant incremental trend based on data from 2014 to 2018, but its asset value decreased from around 85 billion to 79 billion in 2019 and drastically dropped to 59 billion in 2020.
As stated by Ching, the Film Development Council of the Philippines released that the projected loss for the cinema sector was at least 13.4 billion pesos in 2020. Because of this, over 760,000 workers experienced a decrease in income due to the discontinued production of films and TV shows. With COVID-19 affecting businesses in 2020, threats of business closure resulted in lower income for both the employees and the firm. Job loss, income reduction, and limited opportunities have been persistent until the following year. As you can see, the bar graph depicts the most common grievances and complaints in the Philippines during the pandemic in 2021. Data from Statista show that employment loss and limited opportunity ranked top with 82%, followed by a lack of financial access, which ranks fourth with 20%, poverty at fifth place with 20%, and quarantine and lockdown implementation ranked sixth with 13%. Those who work in the creation of movies and television shows have lost the luxury of having a stable job, thus losing their principal source of income.
The figure shown on screen presents the global revenue loss in the film industry due to COVID-19 pandemic. The declaration of the global pandemic on March 11, 2020 by the World Health greatly affected the film productions and cinema theaters since they were forced to stop their operations. Consequently, the global film industry experienced a loss of $7 billion as of mid-March 2020. The financial impact of the pandemic even worsened at the end of May 2020 as the revenue loss reached $10 billion. On a national scope, the film industry in the Philippines has already incurred a loss of 16 billion pesos since March 2020. This is according to Philippine Motion Pictures Producers Association or PMPPA, as cited in the Matulak 2021. In relation to this, the Metro Manila Film Festival, which usually earns an annual revenue of 1 billion, barely earned 25 million pesos in the year 2020.
Next is data on ABS-CBN's employee headcount from 2017 to 2020. Based on ABS-CBN's annual reports from 2017 to 2019 rather, their employee headcount has constantly been above 10,000 workers with an expected headcount growth of at least 2% within the following 12 months. In 2020, it was reported that ABS-CBN will be laying off more than 4,000 employees following the non-renewal of their broadcasting license during the pandemic. They also announced that they will be having a retrenchment program by the end of August 2020, and they stated that the primary reason for this was their financial loss and that it was the only way to secure jobs of the other workers. As seen in the figure, ABS-CBN's employee headcount dropped from almost 10,500 in 2019 down to less than 5,000 in 2020.
Next is the unemployment rate in the Philippines from 1999 to 2020. As seen in the figure, in figure 5, 2.24% of people were unemployed in 2019, and this percentage rose to 3.36% the following year. Moreover, between 2019 and 2020, the unemployment rate increased by 1.24%. Community quarantine restrictions implemented in the Philippines beginning March 2020 resulted in the closure of many businesses. The Philippine Statistics Authority said in a statement that the annual labor force participation rate is the lowest since April 2005. In addition to the growing unemployment rate in the country, Rosario mentioned that ABS-CBN's franchise application was finalized after 13 congressional sessions, and approximately 11,000 workers lost their jobs after the legislative renewal was denied. Amid the pandemic, ABS-CBN's franchise expired and was not renewed because of lacking requirements that could not be settled immediately. Thus, workers had to be laid off. Kate, Mike.
ABS-CBN shutdown shocked its viewers and supporters, altering the Philippine television media landscape. The chart here shows where TV Patrol viewers went right after shutdown. TV Patrol is the flagship television newscast of ABS-CBN. Based on the data, 36% of TV Patrol's audience decided to turn their televisions off, while 30% switched to the rival network GMA. 25% of its audience switched to networks, namely Cinemo, TV5, Teleradio, Jeepney TV, and PBO. Ultimately, the remaining 10% of the audience switched to other networks that were not mentioned in the data. Aside from the viewers, ABS-CBN's biggest celebrities and stars such as Maha Salvador, Billy Crawford, and its longtime broadcast journalist Ted Filon switched to other networks. While some celebrities of ABS-CBN left, some personalities, including Catherine Bernardo, Angel Locsin, and the famous love team Lisken, chose to remain a Kapamilya despite the network shutdown.
With that, the main problem identified was ABS-CBN's negative financial performance caused by the cancellation of projects due to the COVID-19, as well as the non-renewal of their broadcasting license. Based on the data gathered, we devised 3 recommended solutions to counter this issue and increase revenue and recover from losses. The first is to draw on demand for the most sought after or in demand actors in the industry. As stated by University of Technology Sydney, star power has a great impact on a film's success. Thus, ABS-CBN can cast in demand actors to attract more viewers, likewise gaining more revenue. ABS-CBN can also find a new platform where they can run ads and commercials to accommodate and reach more viewers. And in relation to this, ABS-CBN can also consider switching the majority of their projects to online streaming. Recently, when ABS-CBN launched their series He's Into Her in I1TFC or I1TV, I1TV ranked number one in mobile applications in the Philippines, which is proof that the application has gathered more viewers than usual. These are all the references we used.